essence of creative educational leadership. Hey, and welcome. My name is Dr. Carrington Falk, and I'm here to take a student's exploration through the essence of creative educational leadership. I'm saying it because we need to unleash our creativity, and I'm talking about as educators because, hey, we've got students in our classroom who they are ready to create. They're ready to get going. And so we need to be able to facilitate that creativity, but we also need to unleash it within ourselves. We got to fill that bucket up in order to pour out to students. We need to talk about creative educational leadership because you may not be with students so much. You may be in a district role or you may be assistant principal, but I'm going to tell you something. We're all there for students. Everybody's there for students. I mean, if you work in a district, it's created for students. Creative educational leadership is a catalyst for innovation and growth. If you want innovation, and if you're listening to this right now, I know you're on the road to innovation. You definitely are looking for that transformation in your life, and you're looking for yourself to grow. I think some people may not think they want to grow, but I think everybody wants to grow because everyone wants something. They're going after something, some type of goal. They want to either feel like something, be somebody. They need to have that push for growth. It's important to know that we need to use our creativity when shaping the future of education. And we're going to be shaping it because anyone that's in education right now, you are in education at a time to where you can literally shape the future. And you want to use technology to shape that future. And it's going to be heavily prevalent into what you're doing, but you are important in this future of education, but they're going to build it. They're going to build it. Okay. So we need to talk about that transformation in education. And I want to further define what creative educational leadership is, because when we want to explore the essence of it, right, the essence of it and its impact on innovation, and we need the innovation today. We need it today. I want to talk about the qualities and characteristics of creative leaders in education. So one thing is you got to know that creative educational leadership is not a position, right? You could be a teacher, you could be an administrator. This is thinking. Creative educational leadership is about thinking because a lot of stuff is executed without even thinking. And it's not just about like it's haphazardly done, like no thinking. I mean, that happens sometimes. But a lot of times we're just doing the same things we've done before and not thinking about it. There's no thinking before we execute. And what happens is we get an execution that potentially is not what should be the execution, especially today. And we look at what's happening today. We're in a renaissance of technology and thought and creativity. We need creative educational leadership in education. We need it. And so we need creative leaders that are going to take that charge. And we're going to disrupt education. We're going to disrupt it. And it's very important that people know this, is that you have to be ready to change it. People say, hey, they're ready for change. We're ready for change, or we want change. But are you ready to actually change it? Because when it gets changed, what happens is you're disrupting what was previously there. And people love what was previously there. There are going to be some people that really love it. They don't want it to change. And so are you ready to change it? These are the qualities and characteristics that are needed for creative leaders in education. Creative leadership is also really heavily based on the uses of technology, right? We have to partner with technology. You have to get to know technology if you're going to be a creative educational leader in this era. I mean, just think about it. Look at all the technology that's available today. If you don't continue to build your skills in those areas, you're going to get left behind. And the reason I'm saying technology is because that's what's going to be needed in order for us to survive in this workforce. The other thing that creative educational leaders use is data. We're literally data monsters, and we're using data. We're also designers. We use these things to really be able to communicate what's happening in schools and districts all across the country. And so we're using our resources. We're able to tell a story and design experiences for students and faculty and community and parents. We're able to do these things, and a lot of the times there's no resources to do so. creative educational leaders also create spaces and create things that weren't previously there that may not cost a thing to you in your district. And that's what you're going to get with creative educational leaders, because it's really important that we have these skills and these people today in order to take the charge on the road to innovation in education. We want to empower educators and students, because creative educational leaders really help to get both students and educators to think outside the box. And we always talk about thinking outside the box, but I know me, I think of another question is, well, what is the box? A lot of people think of that statement and just say, do something different. But if you're going to do something different, you need to be able to have some strategies in order to get to innovation. And thankfully, I have a resource for you. It's the Thought Innovation Checklist, 10 questions for creative educational leaders. And that's something you could download for free below. Just read it and come back to it from not only time to time, but actively. When you're on the road to innovation, a question can take you to the next level. It literally can, because it can spark a thought and really help to innovate something new and fresh and thinking in your mind and give you a different perspective on the road to innovation. So we want to make sure that we're inspiring students. I think that that's one thing that's not talked about a lot, is that you want to try to inspire students as much as you can. I believe that creative educational leaders in a classroom, in a school, in a district, they can help to transform the space for many students. I mean, you can have an impact that is great. When you embrace this, you want to watch out, because if you allow students to create and to have a voice and to really express themselves in a way that's helping them grow, make sure that you are ready to go and you're on the road to innovation, because hey, we're going there. We're going to the future. We want to inspire action. We want to inspire change. And so that's what we're here to do as creative educational leaders. We want to inspire that. You want to be that when you're in meetings at schools, and you want to be that in your school community. Literally, when you're in your meetings and your content areas, you want to be able to express yourself and communicate and really lobby for change if it's needed. I mean, you don't want to change everything, but you definitely want to go for innovation where it's warranted. And I see a lot of that around. And this is why I wanted to talk specifically to educators, because there's a lot we need to ask questions about, because we haven't done it in years. Be it that we felt we couldn't, or we just didn't, because the time is now. There's too much change that's just going to happen to us. That's the other side of it. If we don't change, the change is going to happen to us, right? The tipping point is coming. If we don't go out and we take technology by the horns and go with it, or are we going to sit back and let it overtake us? What side are you on with this? Of course, there's challenges on either side, right? And so we need to make a decision, make a commitment to be creative educational leaders, because we need to do it. We definitely need to do it. And I just want you to do something really quickly before we get out of here. I want you to reflect and want you to think back and think how creative educational leadership could help you, or how has it helped you in the past? Because I know that you're creative. We literally all are built and made to create. It's just that sometimes some of us don't see it, because you have to be a creative. You have to be a creative educational leader on the road to innovation, because the innovation process is a creative process. It's a creative process. You need to be able to bolster your creativity, your ideational behavior, and get to that point to where you are creating the future. You know, a lot of times we're waiting for the future to be built and for it to come, but we need to build it. We need to create it. It's a different mindset. It's a different mindset. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here today as we talked about creative educational leadership. We want to unleash that creativity. We want to talk about the essence of it, the essence of creative educational leadership. I will talk to you soon on the road to innovation.